She just bumped her head, but when she woke up, everything had changed. She'd crossed over into a parallel universe, one where being curvy was the ultimate beauty standard. Men on the street gazed at her admiringly, showering her with compliments. She even accidentally bumped into a stretch Lincoln. Out stepped a commanding CEO who turned out to be William, her boss from the real world. But this William looked at her with unmistakable adoration in his eyes. Not only did he not mind her appearance, he insisted on driving her home. Her once rundown neighborhood was now spotless and lined with flowers. William wrote his phone number on a flower petal and handed it to her tenderly. Even more shocking, her home had transformed into a luxurious 5,000 square foot mansion. Her walk-in closet overflowed with designer clothes and perfectly fitting shoes. A neighbor informed her this was just one of her many properties. Annie had become fate's chosen princess, yet she felt deeply unsettled. At work, she discovered everything had been turned upside down. She was now a star designer, while her former assistant envied her beauty. She confided in George, suspecting she'd crossed dimensions and was losing her mind. Desperate to return to reality, she tried recreating the mugging scene and even considered throwing herself in front of a subway train. Instead, she got arrested by a handsome cop for crossing police barriers. At the station, she reluctantly tried the number on the pedal, and sure enough, William came to her rescue. William pursued her passionately, inviting her to dinner. Annie thought perhaps finding true love would break the curse and send her home. She dressed to the nines for their date on a luxury yacht. The dinner was incredibly romantic, and William even snuck her into a closed dessert shop afterward. This charmed evening felt like a beautiful dream. But the next morning, Annie realized William wasn't her true love. He was only interested in her design talent. He even wanted to change her name after marriage, showing no respect for her wishes whatsoever. Annie decided to refocus on her work and prove herself through her abilities. During this time, George continued to quietly support her, bringing her the dumplings she loved. Only with George did Annie feel truly relaxed and at ease. One casual touch made Annie truly notice George for the first time. She discovered that the way George looked at her held something different, something deeper. But just then William appeared, and George, assuming they were together, left in disappointment. When she instinctively wanted to talk to George, she learned he was getting married. Only in that moment did Annie understand true love had been right beside her all along, and she'd been blind to it. She hated herself for realizing it too late. George thoughtfully took her to the beach to clear her head. Under the moonlight, they reminisced about all their shared memories. George had always been her silent guardian knight. Heartbroken, Annie prepared to skip the wedding. Her neighbor encouraged her to chase love bravely, but first she needed to learn to love herself. Those 5 words, "learn to love yourself," struck a deep chord with Annie. This time, she decided to be brave for herself.